Do I feel good today? What is up, DTL Universe? It is your boy, the coach, and do we have a busy hour for you? I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend of college football, of NFL football. Who can forget about Shohei? We'll talk about him later in the show, but if you're brand new to Driving the Line, we are live every single weekday morning right here on Stadium, simulcast on YouTube, wherever Stadium is found, Amazon Prime, Roku TV, YouTube TV, we are here. Now, before we look forward, we must always look back. Kind of a ho-hum weekend at the brand. We've got a ton of picks we gave you, a lot of X's, a lot of check marks. It was a banana land weekend in football. Now, today it is supersized. Do not forget tonight, live on Stadium at 7 p.m. Eastern time. You got to be there right from the start because we have two Monday night games. We have the Jags and the Bills. It starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Then we've got the Commanders and the Bengals, which start at 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. So we got it all covered tonight on DTL Prime Time Live. But we got to get to it right now because I got to tell you today, what are we going to talk about on DTL, the podcast? Drops around 2 p.m. Eastern. You Crew Premium members, you get all the video. Oh, where else are we going to go but the NFL? And my man's been working double duty on all the graphics, on everything show, 24/7. He's my partner, our five-tool player. Good morning, AB.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. How we doing, man?
Busy weekend, bro. And last night, you talk about a sweat. I'm sitting here in my living room with my two beautiful kids, and I'm trying to watch our Chiefs blow it, and yet they wouldn't blow it. And that was pretty cool. We're 3-0.
Yeah. It's rare. As weird as it sounds, it's rare when you get the Chiefs to cover. Like
you're a terrible cover team. Terrible.
I know.
Yeah.
Luckily, the Falcons, they don't know what field goals are. So there you go.
There are a few coaches that have no clue what taking the points actually means. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit as well. Now, AB, we've got a busy day. We've got two games to talk about, so we got to get to it. So what are our Howie Schwab Crew play of the day selections this morning?
All right. Like you said, Coach, we got two NFL games tonight for Monday Night Football. And let's keep it simple. Go with the spreads. You going Jaguars plus 5.5 or Bills minus 5.5, Commanders plus 7 or the Bengals minus 7. Polls in the chat. Vote now. We'll update as we always do at the end of the show.
This day would have just such a busy day would have thrown Howie off. He'd be like, today's an F day. Today's an F day, Coach. Oh,
it would have been.
Yeah. We miss him so much, but he would love to have been here, so he always is here. I told you we got the best crew in the game, and they are standing by on a Monday. It doesn't get any better. Let's jump right in because we've got to discuss these two Monday night football games tonight. So, producer man, look how smooth that is. Oh, and I would love to hear, as I start with my numbers guy, Rafael Esparza. Good morning, sir. What was your Sunday like, sir?
Hectic. It was all a complete hectic. I mean, the dogs covered again last night. I loved watching the Chiefs game. Congratulations on your Chiefs W. Caesars took the biggest bet of the day, took $1 million bet on the Chiefs money line. So that was a interesting bet that I saw come across. But it was a fun day seeing all those upsets. Who would have thought the Pittsburgh Steelers are still at the number one team in that division and perfect?
No touchdown. I saw a crazy stat. First team 3-0 without. It was nuts. So who would have thought the Broncos would win on the road? Who would have thought? Well, let me come to Charles. Who would have thought, Charles? How was your Sunday, sir?
It was all right. I had no complaints. Them dogs, they keep coming through, just backing dogs. And I bet the books were happy about that $1 million wager, especially when the Falcons just decide not to take any points. I'm sure they were happy about that. But yeah, I kind of like the Broncos in that spot. But you're just backing dogs, and I think you'll be all right this season. Last year was the favorites. I hadn't seen a season like that in forever, where so many favorites just kept cashing. But I think we're back to the norm in the NFL.
Well, and you also have some quarterbacks as we bring in our guy from South Florida from ESPN and ESPN Radio, the Z-Man. Z, I know you were all over the NFL, but your squad laid an egg traveling all the way to Seattle, only a field goal.
I knew this is what was going to happen. I said it last game when Tua went out. I got to watch 15 more games of Skylar Thompson. My NFL Sunday was terrible. I don't mind. I don't mind watching the Dolphins lose. I don't get crazy about that. What I do mind is 3 hours of a waste of my life, and that's what that was yesterday. It was torture for 3 hours. I can't do that the rest of the season.
It was the only straight play that I hit yesterday. I hit the Cowboys over, but I had the Seahawks minus 4.5. I couldn't believe it was only 4.5, to be honest.
Free money.
Yeah, free money. All right, let's get into tonight. We have 2 games to get into, and then we'll get into our picks in just a little bit. AB, glorious graphic, and I'm going to start with you because the Bills, their offenses look really good so far. They scored over 30 against Arizona. They laid it on the Dolphins. They're laying 5.5 at home. It's a must-win for the Jags tonight. They are 0-2, the money line plus 200, the total at 45.5. AB, where do we start?
Yeah, Buffalo Bills are playing great football right now. In the Jaguars, they've won, but really without Trevor Lawrence. You're going to see his numbers here in a little while. The Bills are going to force Trevor to beat them with his arm, and they're not going to let Travis Etienne, or at least they're going to try to not let him just run all over the field, man. Like, that's the big chess battle tonight. But the Bills play great football, man.
Yeah, right now in the AFC South, you got Houston at 2-1. You've got Indianapolis 1-2, and then Jacksonville and Tennessee are 0-4. And Z, as I come over to you, everybody seems to have forgotten about the Bills now that a lot of their guys like Stephon Diggs has left town, but they're undefeated, and Josh Allen seems to have a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. Sports talk show hosts like myself, we love being right. We'll always tell you when we're right. But I also have no problem telling you when I'm wrong. Okay. And I've been dead wrong about the Buffalo Bills. I thought they were going to take a step back. They obviously put a shellacking on the Dolphins last week. And I expect something similar here tonight against a Jaguar team that I don't think is any good. I love the Bills tonight, but you could really see that this Bills team, since firing Ken Dorsey, I love Ken Dorsey, Miami Hurricanes, great. But since firing Ken Dorsey in the middle of last season, their entire MO has changed. They are essentially a run-first team. I love James Cook tonight as well. They are a ground and pound type of team these days, and that includes Josh Allen's legs, and they don't let Josh Allen essentially beat himself with all the turnovers and the risks he takes. I think we all underestimated Buffalo. Buffalo's a very good team.
11 carries, 78 yards last week for James Cook in that 31-10 trouncing of Miami. So, Raphael, let me come over to you because you always look at things from the books perspective, the numbers perspective. How is game one looking tonight, sir?
Well, the Bills are minus 5.5. The NFL teams are 5.5 or more, dog-wise, are 13-2 against the spread this year. So the dog could bark on one of these games. I know they're going to take a lot of parlays on both home teams, but we've seen it. Charles has said it. The dog has been barking. It's 5.5. 13-2, the dog's been barking for the last 15 games, higher than 5.5. We see one of these games bark. I think this could be this one. I think the Jaguars cover. I don't think they win, but I think they cover.
I wonder what the over-under is on how many times we'll hear the word bark on the episode today. I think I've said it twice. Raphael said it 3 times. I think it's over under 6.5, which, by the way, Rashee Rice last night, I played him, guys, under 6.5. The dumbest fade of all time. He had 7 catches at halftime. I think Patrick Mahomes likes him. Charles, back to this game. I digress. I hate 4.5. I hate 5.5. Tell me why I should like it.
Because the dog should be barking tonight. I always loved the Jags. I liked them in this spot. They always usually get up for the Bills. You know, this is the, like I said, it's perception about the NFL. Just the Bill stock couldn't be higher. The Jags couldn't be any lower. You know, I just don't think it's a bad idea to back dogs. I like Jacksonville coming in with Dougie P and the crew. So, yeah, I think we may see a dog barking. Wolf.
All right. That is the last wolf we hear
I know.
on the morning show.
I had to get it in one last one.
Don't ever say that again either. All right. Shout out to Peggy giving AB props for all the amazing graphics today. By the way, AB in the chat, they're asking one very important question. What time did you and Seabass leave the club last night?
We called Ubers about 45 minutes ago, right? Thank you, Tina, for doing that. Tina took care of us. Yeah, I think Seabass still has his jacket on too. And he was cooking nachos about 4:50 in the morning. It was nice.
We know that we love nachos, or me and you love the dogs on the streets of Nashville as well. We've done that before. We've done that before. If you know, you know. All right, game number 2. By the way, congratulations to Seabass. Last night, Drake London plus 1,100 scored the first touchdown of the game, and he got into the club, so he'll have a little diamond next to his game. Tonight, somebody has a chance to make history. 2 club invitations are on the docket for these 2 games tonight. So, AB, let's move over to the second game. The Commanders, who have a new quarterback this year, a lot of people have forgotten about them with all the attention on Philadelphia and Dallas in that division, and the Cowboys lay another egg and lose at home to the Ravens. But the Bengals, they're the team in this matchup that is a playoff team that Jamar Chase is saying we're still the team to beat in the AFC. I can say it. They should have beaten the Chiefs last week, and they did not. So this is a must-win, laying a touchdown at home tonight. Where do you start?
Absolute must-win game for them. You're exactly right. Now, here's the problem. Don't sleep on Jaden Daniels, man. He's been throwing. He's just not getting a lot of attention in the NFL, but this dude can play quarterback. Not only he can throw, he can run. Scored 2 rushing touchdowns, man. Be careful with this one, but you're right. The Bengals, they have to win. You cannot start 0-3, dude. Can't.
We saw yesterday and last night Sunday Night Football, Z, that teams that, and maybe it's just a coincidence, but teams that really needed a win, that really needed to give themselves a great chance, they went to their stars. Atlanta did it with Drake London. A lot of other teams did it. You got to believe that they're going to try to figure out a way to get Jamar Chase started early and Jamar Chase started often.
Yeah, Bengals season's on the line. I mean, you can't drop to 0-3. You can't drop to 0-3, especially in that division. And you look at the Steelers, who are already 3-0. So you really have no chance of winning the division if you lose today. And your playoff hopes are essentially done as well. Now, I love the Bengals to win this game. I think it's a lot of points there, Lane. But I love the Bengals to win this game. I love the Bengals going into the season. And look, they're 0-2, but I still don't see much reason to change that, okay? They have a history under Joe Burrow. Zach Taylor get off to terribly slow starts. Unfortunately for them, this year is no exception at 0-2. But I love this Bengal team overall. They should have won the game last week. It's okay to lose to the Chiefs, all right? And it's okay to lose on the road to the Chiefs. I think that's the kind of game you take away from and say, hey, we look like ourselves. Now let's get this thing rolling. So I expect a good performance out of the Bengals here this evening.
Great point. They did look like themselves, like the playoff Bengals that we're used to seeing. Now, Raphael, Washington does have a win. They came back last week, 21-18, that classic score, beating the Giants. So at least they have some positive that they're feeding off of going on the road tonight, getting 7.
Yeah, and I was a little bit impressed with their defense last week because let's face it, we all thought that Washington's Achilles heel would be their defense. This one, it's just grab the best number you can. There's only a couple 7s out there. This one be a solid 7.5 by kickoff. I don't think we'll see 8 because I think the books will just move the juice around at 7.5 because they don't want to get off that number. But this one is just get the best number. I like the Bengals in this spot. They cannot go 0-3 after the Steelers win yesterday and with their quarterback.
By the way, AB, all your graphics, I have Amazon Prime on over here to my left. They look amazing on Amazon Prime. Let me just say that. All right, Charles, let me come to you, big boy, because I know you love the underdogs, and the books have loved the underdogs. This one to me at 7, if I buy it up to 7.5, I might have to think about going the other way. Should I?
Yeah, I'm seeing some 7.5s. I think this may be a good teaser spot also. If you like the Commanders, I think it's going to be higher scoring. If you like the Bengals, I think it correlates to stay under. So you may even want to look at trying to tease those together, get you some extra points with the Commanders and kind of get that total to fluctuate. I think that 7 that's a key number. At 7.5, I think I would have to look with the Commanders. Anything under. So that's what I'm saying. I think this would be a good tease spot. Bengals and under or Commanders and over.
20 seconds. AB, I know you've looked at all the quarterbacks. The youngster for Washington, 20 seconds. What have you seen from him this year?
Jaden Daniels, excellent quarterback, all right? You're looking at a battle of 2 former LSU quarterbacks, 2 former LSU Heisman-winning trophy quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels can play. He can throw and run, man. He's good.
I'm starting. It's going to be a long day till we get to that late game tonight. I'm telling you right now. I may have to shift my thought process and buy that half a point or maybe buy it up to 8. Who knows? Well, you're asking, hey, Coach, you got any best bets? You're damn right we do. We are We are live on Stadium this morning. And I'm an idiot because I missed the break time, but that's all right. AB, we've got a shortened break time here. What do we got first for the parlays today?
I love it. All right. So here are parlays for both the Jaguars and the Bills. I won't read them out loud. Everybody can see them, but I'll throw it. Raphael, over to you first. Which one are you going with?
First one, I'm going to take the Jags +5 and anytime TD. I'll take the +250. And on the second one, I'll take the +625. Give me the Bills -2.5 and Josh Allen to throw the first TD score. I'll take the +625.
All right. Big Zaz. What do you like, bud?
Yeah, I'll go with the first one. Jags +5.5 and ETN anytime touchdown. So that's what I'll take for that one. In the other game, I like the Bills on the money line for sure. The Josh Allen 1+ INT, I suppose we'll roll with it. I don't want to lay all the points. So let's go with the first one there, +220.
Okay. Big Chuck.
Also, give me the double A's. Jags +5.5 and the ETN touchdown and the Bills money line, and Mr. Allen to throw a pick. +475 looks, or +470 looks good to me.
I'm with you on that one. Look, I'm going to go second one on the first game. Jaguars 5.5. Trevor Lawrence throw an interception, 300. And I'm going to go with the Bills -2.5 and Josh Allen, the first TD scorer, +625. Coach, what you feeling here?
You're getting crazy right there. You're getting crazy. I actually like the exact same two that you just did. I think the Bills get it done at home tonight. I think so. I'm more inclined on the Bills parlay than I am on the Jags. But if I had to take it, I'd certainly take one with the points. All right, we're just getting started here on DTL in the morning. We still have Monday mishaps and our best bets coming up. We are live back on Stadium in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back. It is now time. Producer man, if you don't mind, I'd love to hear it. It's time for the picks. So many different ways to attack a game. AB, I'm coming right over to you because I love at plus money what you've decided to do. Start us off.
Let's take a look here and have some fun tonight, okay? All right. I like the Bengals over 3.5 touchdowns at +130. They can get it on the offense. They can get it on the defense. They can get it special teams. It does not matter. Just get to 4 touchdowns. And I think in a must-win game, playing at home, yeah, I'll roll with that one.
I like that one a lot. I'm really starting to lean in more and more as I listen to you guys with bets that aren't just directly a side or directly a total. So creative. Thank you, AB. Charles, let's go right down to you. You've got soccer, and you also have football today. What do you like?
Jaguars +5.5. Jacksonville, they tend to give the Bills a hard time when paired together. They've actually covered us in 4 of the last 6 matchups, and they've won straight up in 4 of the last 6. I think a desperate Jags team will come in and definitely keep this within a field goal. Lastly, we travel to Portugal, where Del Boca Vista, a.k.a. Boa Vista, face off with Benfica. They wrap up match day 6. And when these two teams get together, we tend to see fireworks. We've seen 3 or more total goals in 13 of their last 16 pairings. So I'm going to keep this one simple. Take the over 3 full-time goals in Portugal with this match starting at 3:15 p.m. Eastern.
All right, and 12:15 Pacific. Let's come up to you, Raphael, because I'm seeing is that an under word that I see on a Monday? What are we doing?
Of course, it's an under on a Monday. We're going to take the Commanders, a.k.a. the Magics, Bengals first quarter under 9.5. Really? 9.5? Both teams, the first 2 games have hit this prop bet in the first quarter. The Bengals have only scored 3 points in the first quarter, their first 2 games. I just don't see a lot of scoring in the first quarter. Second quarter is when me and AB cash all our over tickets. So first quarter, dud. Second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter,
Excitement. Or get crazy. All I hear is this voice. Let's get crazy, coach. Let's get crazy. Z-Man, how do we get crazy tonight?
Well, first of all, it has to be said, excellent Del Boca Vista reference from Charles. Let's make sure we point that out before we go any further here. I'm doing a 6-point teaser here tonight. I'm kind of going against my own rules. It's not my own rules even. It's just rules. You don't want to cross 0, all right, when you're picking a teaser. 5.5, though, it's such a stupid number. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to cross 0 but by just a smidge, by a tad, all right? So we're going to go Bills plus half a point. Again, I hate crossing 0, but I think it's necessary here. Bills plus half a point, and we're going to bring Bengals down to minus 1.5. I love that. That's at a good number because obviously it was 7.5. So Bills plus half a point, Bengals minus half a point. It's minus 120, 6-point teaser. I feel good about it.
Yeah, shout out to Jared. He says, I love that play, Z, man. And I think it's okay to come across 0, Z, when you've got the Bills, who we think are just going to win the game. So This way, they just had to win the game, and we're all good. So I like it a lot. Also, remember, when you're playing a teaser, make sure it's on the half a point. Because if you play it on the full point and it hits that number, it's a loss. Teasers do not pay like that. All right? So make sure it's a half a point. Z, man, thank you very much. All right, for all of my crew members, all of my guys, this is their favorite part of the Monday show. When we get to tear apart something that was just bad, stupid, we hated, whatever it might be. We call it Monday Mishaps. And AB, I'm going to start with you. What are you attacking today?
The Tennessee Titans in the offseason decided to fire Mike Vrabel. You know, what a jerk move. I mean, all the guy wanted to do after his general manager went rogue, all right, quit listening to anyone. All Mike Vrabel wanted was, a say in what the roster would be for the team that he's coaching. The team that a couple of years ago went to the AFC Championship, that went to the playoffs every year under him. Yeah, that was the problem. The new coaching staff is 0-3, and it doesn't look good. They play the Dolphins on Monday Night Football coming up, which for some reason Tennessee's getting a point. I have no idea why, but yeah. I mean, what are you doing? Like, I understand you don't want a head coach to be the GM, but Vrabel wasn't asking to be the GM. All right. He just wanted to say, in meeting the GM that you fired, by the way, all right, because he was terrible in John Robinson and is not in football anymore. When was the last time that happened? All right. Yeah, man. Like the Titans completely screwed this up.
There is nothing worse than your favorite team making dumb decisions, and you sit there, you see it, and they don't listen to anybody. And you're seeing it with AB right now. I lived through it for years with the Chiefs, just dumb decisions, especially when you let a really good head coach go. AB, great start. All right, Big Chuck, whenever you get angry, I'm here for it. What is your Monday mishap today?
The refusal to kick field goals by these coaches, and we saw it last night. The Falcons down by 5 with 4 minutes left, all 3 timeouts, and the 2-minute warning. Instead of kicking the field goal from the 5, then they would only be down by 2, which they end up getting the ball back. They refuse to do that. Then what do you know? They do get the ball back, and instead of just needing the field goal, they need the touchdown to win. We all see how that went. We saw that in Philly. It's just infuriating how these coaches think that a field goal is beneath them when the object of the game is to stack points. So it's really getting to me. And I'm sure the books were happy to see the Falcons not kick that field goal last night also.
You can't bet overs. You can't bet totals. You can't bet anything because these coaches. And I'm telling you right now, everybody that said, oh, he was a great, he's going to be a great head coach now in Atlanta. He's a good defensive coach. Last night he had a bad challenge. It's just he's not a good head coach. It takes a special person. Nick Sirianni, kick a field goal. Dan Campbell, kick a field goal. All right, Raphael, what's your Monday mishap today, sir?
So all my Chicago family drove to Indianapolis to see the Bears play. And then they called me driving home saying, what are the Bears doing making Caleb Williams throw for 52 times yesterday? Richardson only threw for 20 times against the Colts. 52 times. He got sacked 4 times. He threw the ball more than the Chicago Cubs bullpen did yesterday against the Washington Nationals in Wrigley Field. He might have to have Tommy John surgery. That's how much he threw the ball yesterday. And you still lose the game. What are you doing, Chicago?
What are you doing, Chicago? My Monday mishap is in honor of our man Soupy, who is in the chat right now, yucking it up with DG. Now, Soupy was on the Raiders yesterday, -5, but apparently he was the only one that was confident that they could take out those powerful Carolina Panthers, who Andy Dalton takes over for Bryce Young 3 touchdown passes in the first half. And then in the second half, the Raiders didn't want to be out there. They gave up 36. But my mishap goes to post-game. What did head coach Antonio Pierce, who I worked with for years at ESPN, say? The worst thing you can say about a player and a team, that they quit. He said they made business decisions. Translate, they quit. He says, we will also make business decisions. Translate, there's some players getting their asses cut. You cannot quit in the NFL. And yesterday, that's exactly what the Raiders did. Shame on you. Z-Man, bring us home.
Yeah, and I would also add to it real quick. I think you need to keep your notifications on today with all the ESPN, reporters. Today could be the day Devontae Adams gets moved based on everything you said there about Antonio Pierce. I would be looking for that. But my Monday mishaps here, this NFL is backwards, all right? And survivor pools are impossible through 3 weeks. I mean, is anyone still in a survivor pool? Just this week alone. The Giants beat the Browns. I don't think the Browns are very good, but nobody had the Giants. How about the Broncos are going to go into Tampa and beat a 2-0 Bucs team? How about the Panthers? They're going to crush the Raiders. And that's not it. Just go back to last week. The Raiders, they win at the Ravens. How about week 1 when the Patriots beat the Bengals? These survivor pools are impossible, Coach.
Impossible. And I think it was week 1, wasn't it, guys, where the big circle one in Vegas, like 4,500 people forgot to put their play in. How do you spend $1,000 and not get your play in on week 1? That's embarrassing.
And they did just as good as I did with the Bengals losing to the Patriots.
The Bengals. I was in 1. I've had, a lot of the books will restart new ones if you get knocked out. I've never seen so many start week 2. Week 2. I see some in the chat, AB, about Antonio Pierce potentially getting fired if the Raiders continue to play this way. Z-Man said they may trade Devontae Adams. I wonder if the Taco Bell will go with him. But on a serious note, the Raiders, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. Do you think AP potentially down the road this year could be a quick one?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think they're invested in him, but I get the thought process of what was said, right? Like, coaches have to, your team has to play well, right? Or you eventually do get fired. So it's like, look, I don't have time for this. And it brings me back to who was our man that was the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. When he was on, who was it? Vontae Davis? Let him know.
Mike Singletary.
Yeah, Mike Singletary.
That's right.
Yeah, he said, I'd rather play with 10 people who get penalized all the way down the damn field than play with one person who doesn't want to be out here. I want winners. That was great rant.
Great rant. And then they can't handle it. Those players in NFL can't handle it. Z, real quick, we got about 30 or 45 seconds. Bigger disappointing loss yesterday coming off 2 big wins, Bucs or the Saints?
Oh, I think it's the Bucs. Look, the Saints lost to a good team, all right? That was a great game, Eagles and Saints. But it's the Bucs. You had a real opportunity. If you have an opportunity to go 3-0 and all you got to do is beat the Broncos and it's at home, that's a disaster. That's a major missed opportunity. That's one of those games you're going to look down the line later this season, be like, how did we lose that game? Our season can be looking a whole lot different. I'm sleepless if I'm the Bucs after losing that game yesterday.
And it wasn't like it was a last-second win. It wasn't like it was one of those games where they gave it away. They got dominated start to finish. And I even looked at the stats, and Bo Nix did not do a lot. It was just one of those particular games where that happened. And then Saints, on the other hand, Derek Carr, I believe Chuck was on the over interception. I believe AB, you said that both would throw it. And it took him a minute, but he threw that bad Derek Carr interception. Where? Right over the middle of the field, just like we talked about on DTL in the morning, because that's what these guys do. That's why we break them down every single week. All right, still to come here on DTL, but halfway through on Stadium. We still have time to prop it up. And Shohei Ohtani rewriting the record books by himself. We are live on a Monday right here on Stadium. It's always nice when you've got 2 Monday night football games because that means you have 2 different sets of parlays that you can sink your teeth into. AB, take it away.
That's right, Coach. I want winners. Oh, God, I love that Mike Singletary rant.
I
That
did
was
too.
fantastic. All right, same deal. I'm not going to read them all out. Everybody can see them here on the screen. But, Raphael, I'll come over to you first, buddy. Which one are you looking at in the Commanders and Bengals game?
To take the Magics +7 and Jane Daniels +1 interception +345. I like the interception factor more than he's going to throw an anytime touchdown. In the second one, I'm going to take the Bengals money line and Jamar Chase anytime TV +175 because the Bengals need this one. They do not want to go 0-3, so I'll take the plus money with the Bengals money line.
That's true. They do need this one. Big Chuck, where you going?
Give me the double A's again. Give me the +7 and Jaden Daniels to get a touchdown with his legs, and then the Bengals money line. And if they're going to win, probably Jamar Chase gets an anytime touchdown.
All right. Zaz, man, where we going?
All right, so I told you, I like the Bengals, but it's a lot of points. So you know what? Let's go Commanders +7 and give me that Jaden Daniels interception. So +345. I like it.
Okay. I'll tell you what. I like that one too. All right. I'm going to go with Commanders +7 and Jaden Daniels 1+ interception. That one's +345. All right. Then I'm going to parlay that with the Bengals -3. Okay. And Joe Burrow 1+ interception. Put those two together. What do you think about that, Coach?
Same game parlays. I love them. But I'm going to get crazy with mine. I'm going to go Commanders. I'm going to go Commanders +7 and the same one, the +345. But then on the other side, I've got to take that +175. If Jamar Chase does not score a touchdown tonight, he will lose his mind. And all the Bengals have to do is win the game, throw him a touchdown. Doesn't pay a ton, but we will hang out at the pay window, which is always a good thing. All right, we have just crossed the bottom of the hour here on our YouTube page. And also, for those watching on Stadium, thank you to all of you as well. But you can't hear us because we're at commercial break. But we are back live on Stadium in 5 seconds. All right, it's time to prop it up here on DTL in the morning, and we want to welcome everybody in that dropped in at the bottom of the hour. We've got the best crew in the business. AB, Z-Man, Raphael, and Big Chuck are here on a Monday. Don't forget tonight, DTL Primetime Live. We are also live on Stadium and YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The beginning of the show will be first game, which starts at 7:30, and then the back half will be the Commanders and the Bengals, which kicks off at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. But we got to talk about props. So, AB, let me come over to you because you're playing into the narrative that we will see running early and often. You're up.
Coach, we will see running early and often tonight. That's why 2 plays here. All right, first game, Travis Etienne, Jaguars running back, over 12.5 rush attempts at -120. He's been the entirety of the Jaguars offense, I assure you, on that one. And then number 2, Joe Burrow, over 3.5 rush attempts at -120. Look, Joe Burrow can go, and all plays are on board for tonight because you have to win this game. And remember, same thing we talked about yesterday. Did you see Patrick Mahomes at the end of the game? 3 kneel downs. That was 3 rush attempts that we got. All right. Got him to 6. All we needed was over 4.5. Joe Burrow wins this game. You count on probably at least one, maybe a couple. Love playing rush attempts with quarterbacks.
All I heard was your voice in my head last night when we had cashed that ticket on the yards, obviously not the attempts. And then he ran backwards 3 yards, backwards 2 yards, backwards 2 yards, and lost 7 yards in 3 plays. And it went from a cash ticket to a throw it in the trash.
Hey, first off, that's brutal. Number 2, why does he do that? Like he almost hurt
he had to
himself.
kill time. They had to get it to 40 seconds. So he was like running around for 2 or 3 seconds and then knelt down.
I
so
got it on the first one. The second one was just I don't
tore his knee
understand.
up. Yeah, he almost tore his knee up on that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, just kneel the damn ball, dude. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh. I feel you. All right, Raphael, let me come across to you because we've got a rushing narrative today. Talk to me.
Yeah, Josh Allen over 30.5 rushing yards, -3 nickels. His last game, he only rushed for 2 yards. 2 yards. I can fall down in the NFL game and rush for more than 2 yards. But his last 10 NFL games, 7 of them have gone over this number. So I just think he has a big game with his legs. He's at home. He usually runs the ball more at home than he does on the road. So I just think He's going to do everything in his power, legs and arm, to get the W at home. So I like Josh Allen over 30.5, laying the 3 nickels.
Yeah, we saw it a lot with Lamar Jackson yesterday. When these quarterbacks understand that they've got to have a dub, they're now calling on their legs. Mahomes did it. Lamar Jackson did it. I like that Josh Allen play. Charles, let me come over to you. You are playing Josh Allen, but you're playing him to take too many chances. You're up.
Yeah, he's never went 3 straight games to start his season without throwing an interception. Plus, he's thrown 3 career to this Jaguars team. I have Josh Allen with a primetime pick tonight. Next up, Brian Robinson to get over 54.5 rushing yards. This Bengals defense has struggled against the run. Plus, I expect Robinson to get 14 or more carries. They've allowed 159.5 rushing yards per game thus far, and Robinson's produced 86.5 through the first 2 games. I think getting 55 is a discount here.
I never would have thought that we would have an NFL season, guys, where the running backs take center stage and rushing props are the most popular one. That's what it's been like through 2 weeks. And Z, you're also leaning into that tonight.
Yeah, we're running the ball tonight, Coach, in the early game, and we're doing it with plus money. So give me Travis Etienne. We're going to go over 60 yards rushing. That feels doable. It's plus 160. And then I especially love James Cook. He's been fantastic this year so far for Buffalo. Over 80 yards rushing. I couldn't believe when I saw it's plus 190. I mean, I know that needs to be a big performance out of him, but I feel pretty good about it. So Etienne over 60 plus 160. Cook over 80 plus 190. Just put the green check marks next to it. Come on, stop wasting time.
What we need is for the Bills to jump out to a lead, which I believe that they will. Hopefully, they can be better than the 49ers yesterday. That was for you, Big Cheesy. Up 14-0 first quarter, and you can't beat the Rams without Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua? Be better. Be better. Gentlemen, well freaking done. Now, we cannot ignore some of the greatness that's going on in the sports world right now. And I mean all-time greatness. It's time to educate and entertain. All right, so yesterday, it continues to be shock value. And unfortunately for Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers, they are doing these things on a college football weekend, on an NFL weekend. But what he's doing, AB, is nothing short of phenomenal. A couple of days ago, he becomes the first player ever to enter the 50-50 club, and he did it on perhaps the greatest stat day a player has ever had in the history of time. It was unbelievable. But what they did yesterday put a cherry on the sundae. They were down to the Rockies by 1. And he comes up, hits a home run to tie the game. Then Mookie Betts hits a back-to-back walk-off home run. This is kind of banana land kind of stuff. How great is Shohei showing everybody that he truly is?
I love it. And I mean, he might be a 60-60, man. They've still got, 7 games left? Couple of things. Number one, glad to see that the Dodgers bats are alive again. I mean, for a long time this season, they were dead, man. They just didn't look like and that was after Ohtani came back. Number two, I love, and I got to give a shout out to our man, Randall Mims of the chat. He called it when Mookie Betts was coming back. All right. When he was injured, they just moved Shohei Ohtani to the leadoff spot. So when Mookie's coming back, it's like, okay, are you going to move Ohtani back to, the 2-hole, the 3, 4, whatever? No, they just left him at leadoff, all right, and put Mookie behind him. It was fantastic, man. It was a brilliant move. It was a great call. And Shohei's awesome, dude. Like, he's just fun to watch, man.
And the nice thing, AB, as I bring it over to Z, man, is that they're going to continue to play because they have to. They don't even have the division sewn up yet. They're only up 3 games on the San Diego Padres, despite being 93 and 63. Z-Man, he's not even pitching right now. He plans to pitch again next year. But could a player or anyone have imagined a better start with a club than what Shohei has done with the Dodgers just about 20 miles from where he left with the Angels?
Yeah, so a few things here, guys. And there is this idea that maybe he pitches a little bit in the postseason.
Oh,
That idea is floating out there that he could be ready to pitch some in the postseason. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's not completely out of the question. Second thing here is it's going to be really interesting to see what he looks like in the postseason. He's never played in the postseason, and the only, I guess, real postseason action that we've seen from him was in the WBC in the World Baseball Classic, and he was fantastic. All right. So looking forward to seeing what he's going to look like in the postseason. But I'm not trying to throw ice cold water on the Ohtani talk here, but I do need to point out for a second. There's a lot of talk about the season that Ohtani's having, and I understand it's the first ever 50-50. Home runs aren't everything, but it's the first ever 50-50. So there's this conversation that Ohtani, is he having the greatest statistical season of all time? Let me point out for a second and make sure that we don't forget who Barry Bonds was. All right. Like this season that Shohei Ohtani is having, and he's having a phenomenal season. Shohei Ohtani's OPS this year is 1023, which is obviously crazy. That would rank 14th behind Barry Bonds' OPS. He had 13 seasons, Barry Bonds, with a better OPS. 13 seasons with a better OPS than 1023, which is a crazy on-base plus slugging number. So Ohtani is having an unbelievable season, but I got to stop hearing about how Ohtani is having the greatest season statistically of all time. Can we remember who Barry Bonds was? And if you've forgotten, go take a look at what Barry Bonds used to do.
Matty I says, I'm always here for some Bonds love. By the way, I just saw him on that show on Netflix, the collection show. He hoarded all of his stuff for years and just recently started selling some of his stuff. You saw that, Raphael, too?
Yeah, crazy.
But where do you fall on Ohtani right now after what he's done this weekend?
I understand the media saying the best statistical because they don't want to mention Barry Bonds. They don't want to mention his stats and maybe why his stats were the reason why. So I understand why Major League Baseball is trying to pump this one up. But I'm just shocked that he has 123 RBIs. He's batting 301. So it's not like he's just hitting home runs and stealing base. He's doing everything. And if he does pitches in the playoffs, he's going to come out of the bullpen. He's not going to start a game. So you might have an extra arm in the bullpen that maybe get a couple guys out. Will not be shocked if we maybe come back and see Dennis Eckersley 2.0. Maybe he comes out of the bullpen forever. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do with Ohtani when he comes back as a pitcher.
The other shout out today goes to Caitlin Clark. She was crowned the WNBA Rookie of the Year, Charles, yesterday, the same day that her team got walloped in the first game of the playoffs. But with everything that's happened this season, we got to give her some credit that she kept her head down, said nothing, and got the job done and playing one of the best seasons we've ever seen in the WNBA. Your take on her?
She set an example of what a superstar should do. Just go out there and perform, and then everything will come to you. Just drown out the naysayers. So I commend her for going out there and doing her job and not letting the skeptics and her other players get to her. So big congrats to her. I think next year she will definitely be in contentions to win that MVP.
No doubt about it. AB, let me come over to you because Caitlin Clark has done something that I couldn't do. I don't know if any of us could do it, and that is keep our mouths shut when there's all of this noise. Now the next step will be how do you play in the playoffs? But for the here and the now, we got to congratulate her, don't we?
Oh, huge. We have to congratulate her. The WNBA's fought her every step of the way with this, too. They're idiots. They don't know what they're doing at all. Did you see the social media post that the WNBA put out? Okay. It's your standard Twitter post that has, all the teams that made the playoffs. And it has like the star player for each team. It's exactly who you think it is. They didn't even put Caitlin Clark. They didn't even use her. Like these people have lost their minds. They were given gold and they can't even take that. I wish them none of the luck whatsoever. But good for Caitlin Clark. That's awesome. That league is full of very ignorant people.
It is. There are several organizations that somehow the decision makers or the social media people, they get in these spots and they go, oh, I'm going to shake up the world. When you just, sometimes it is what it is. You give them what they want. And Caitlin Clark, whatever you're promoting, needs to be on every single graphic moving forward. A really good live number this morning, a really good live show. When we come back, if you weren't here at the top of the hour, don't worry. We got you covered. Also, we're talking home runs. We are live on a Monday on Stadium. All right, we continue on here on our YouTube page. And AB, there's a lot of degenerates out there that just can't wait for the whole game. What do we have for them?
Well, we have a nice surprise for them, all right? We're going to look at some first-half bets, and we also have a higher viewership than any WNBA game ever since they stopped paying attention to Caitlin Clark. So good luck with it with your failing bankruptcy league. All right, first-half bets. Jaguars 3.5, team total over 9.5. Bills 3.5, Bills team total over 13.5. Commanders 4.5, team total 9.5. Bengals 4.5, Bengals team total over 13.5. Raphael, I throw it to you, buddy. This is your bread and butter. What do you got?
I'm going to take the Jags plus 3.5 minus 120 in the first half. I just think it's going to be a tight game right from the start. And in the second game, I'm going to take the Bengals minus 4.5 plus money. I just think the Bengals are going to come out hot again. They do not want to go 0-3 and they're at home. So give me the plus money 4.5 first half.
All right. Big Chuck.
Yeah, you read my mind, Raphael. I think it's going to be tight with the Jags in the first half plus 3.5, and then the Bengals should come out and feed with that home crowd minus 4.5, and then maybe look at a backdoor situation in the second half with the Commanders.
Zaz, where are we going?
Well, I completely disagree with you guys. Buffalo Rich Stadium is a very, very difficult place to play. You're going to add the element of it being at night. Those Bills fans are crazy. They're jumping through tables. They're setting them on fire. I like the Bills minus 3.5 in the first half, plus 100. And for the second game, let's go Bengals team total over 13.5. Give me 2 touchdowns scored in that first half for Cincinnati.
Okay. Look, I'm with you on the Bills. I'm going to take him the team total over 13.5 in the first half. Is that guy who sprays himself with mustard and ketchup? He's going to be there tonight, right?
I mean, why wouldn't he be?
Yeah, mustard man. All right, I like that guy. And then on the second game, I'll take the Bengals minus 4.5 in the first half, even though the Commanders can play, dude. That's going to be – I can't wait for that game, man. It's going to be fun.
I think it's going to be a lot better than people think it is. Last night, by the way, we did this segment on Primetime Live, and I took the Chiefs over 12.5, and they gave the ball away with a minute, and then they get that interception with 30 seconds to go. That was quite the cash, which made up for the Mahomes not cashing. All right, we are back live. What a good morning. Thank you all. On Stadium in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back to DTL on Stadium on a glorious Monday. Absolutely love the show so far. Don't forget tonight, DTL Primetime Live, also right here on Stadium at 7 p.m. Eastern Time as we count down to both games. But do not forget a light day. I mean a very light day in baseball, but we found 4 that we like here. Christian Walker and Marte of the Arizona Diamondbacks. They've kind of been not playing so great down the stretch, but they still have a chance. Then Dansby Swanson of Raphael's Cubs and Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies. And then we go to Houston. It's the Mariners and the Astros, Bregman and Tucker. Tuck, as AB likes to say, or Vlad Guerrero. They've been out of it for a minute. And George Springer, both players play for the Blue Jays at plus 360. Big Chuck, where are we going, sir?
I really like that Swanson and Schwarber, but I'm going to go with the Snakes against the Giants. Christian Walker and Ketel Marte plus 215 in the desert. So, yeah, for show purposes, Walker, Marte plus 215.
Right now, Arizona, Raphael, sits in the second spot, tied with the Mets, 2 games ahead of the Braves, 87-69. AB's Braves are 85-71. So it's going to be a great last week. For today, Raphael, where are you headed, sir?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to take the Walker Marte plus 250 because I think we see runs in that game. But give me Guerrero and Springer because both of them want out of Toronto and they may be auditioning for maybe trades over the summer. So I'm going to take Guerrero and Springer plus 360.
Z-Man, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Alex Bregman, Kyle Tucker, plus 260. The Astros almost have the division sewn up. Seattle, they're still in the hunt here, so both teams have something to play for. And anytime I could support my Jewish brother, Alex Bregman, there's not a lot of us out there that are playing professional sports, so I'll go with Alex Bregman there, representing us Jews.
I didn't have that on my bingo card today, but center X. By the way, the Astros 5-game lead over Seattle right now with 6 games to play. So they are very, very close to sewing up the division. AB, where are we headed, sir?
Well, I have no idea how to follow that one up because that was perfectly delivered. But I'm going to go Dansby Swanson, Kyle Schwarber, plus 250. The Cubs hit the ball, man. Like they're just out having fun. It's fun to watch him. Dansby Swanson went to Vanderbilt here, played in Nashville. Good dude. I like him a lot. And then you're going to pair him up with Schwarbs. I'll take that.
How about the fact, AB, that he had just won it all in Atlanta, and because it wasn't his grandfather, AB, that loved the Cubs, so that's why he decided to sign with Chicago. Wasn't that the story?
Yeah, it was. Yep.
Wow.
He's a good man. Dansby Swanson's a great dude, man.
Yeah, it kind of seemed that
glad
way.
it wasn't the White Sox his grandfather wasn't a fan of.
Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, he'd be playing in Nashville next year.
They would be relegated. Holy smokes. White Sox are 36 and 120. That's hard to do. 36 and 120. Now, many of you were not here at the top of the hour at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, live on our YouTube channel, also simulcast on Stadium, and love being a part of the family. But we also know you have jobs, you have things to do, so we like to recap all of our best bets, and we're going to do full bets, and we'll do props today in a little something we like to call the whip around. Monday night games tonight. Tons of best bets, tons of props. AB, start us off, sir.
First off, we're going to go with the Bengals. Over 3.5 touchdowns, plus 130. I like Cincinnati to score. Win, don't win, who knows? But they got to go for it and go all out. I'll take them.
Boom. I got distracted, AB, by Matt in the chat. What is going on? He says, I got a dip, fellas. Got to bring my wife's car to the tire place. Great show as always. Let's cash some tickets, gang. See you here later.
Oh,
I
say this as the king of driving over nails on the street. I feel him on this one.
All right, Raphael, coming to you. What do you like?
I'm going to take Commanders-Bengals first quarter under 9.5 minus 110 because we don't see scoring in the NFL, especially in the first quarter. The Bengals have not scored. Oh, no, they've only scored 3 points so far in the first 2 games in the first quarter.
Charles, you like the Jags tonight going into a hostile environment. You're up.
Yeah, they've covered 2 straight against the Bills and 4 of the last 6. I think they keep it within a field goal. And Portugal, Boa Vista, Benfica, they've scored 3 or more total goals in 13 of their last 16. Give me the over 3.
My favorite bet of the day is under the name Jonathan Zaslow. I love it. Z, explain yourself.
Yeah, give me that 6-point teaser here, Coach. So we're going to tease the Bills down. We are going to cross 0. Don't love that. But we're going to go Bills plus 0.5 point. We're going to tease the Bengals down minus 1.5, minus 120 overall. That's how it's done.
I love both plays. I absolutely love both plays. Now let's flip over to our props for the evening. We'll get more in depth on DTL Primetime Live tonight. But there's a lot of rushing props today for a reason. We're leaning into said trends. AB, start us off.
All right. Tonight I've got my car rushing over 5.5 nails at plus 120. No, I'm kidding. All right, look, we got Joe Burrow over 3.5 rushing tips at minus 120, and Travis Etienne over 12.5 rushing tips, also at minus 120.
Boom and boom. Excuse me. Raphael, you like Josh Allen to use his legs early, often?
I have my car going over 100 potholes in New Orleans driving around here, but give me Josh Allen over 30.5 rushing yards, minus 3 nickels. He only had 2 rushing yards his last game. He's at home. He's going to do everything with his legs and arm today.
Charles, you like an interception, and also Mr. Brian Robinson. You're up.
Junior. Yeah, Josh Allen, he's never started the season without throwing an interception in the first 3 games and has 3 career against the Jags. And Brian Robinson over 54.5. He's averaged 86.5 to start the season against this Bengals defense, who allow 159.5 on the season.
Shout out to Go See Mike. He said trends. AKA under trends prime time in all seasons. So far, Go See Mike. You're absolutely right. But Z-Man, he's going with 2 overs in his props. You're up.
Yeah, we're running the football tonight, guys. Travis Etienne over 60 rushing yards. We're getting plus 160. How about James Cook over 80 rushing yards? We're getting plus 190. We got to pay this mortgage. It's the end of the month. Come on now.
So 80 plus rushing yards. And DG says, I don't know if this is the right number. He says, I'm on Cook over 82.5 combo at minus 110. So, I see you played an alternate line, Z-Man. Is that right?
For Cook?
For
no.
James
Oh,
Cook.
well,
Yeah.
Well, there was a bunch. There's a bunch of different options.
Oh, that's right. That's the way DraftKings does them. Yeah, that's right. That's right. The combo number for Cook is 82.5. Do you guys like how DraftKings does that, where it gives you like different numbers that you can play?
Yeah,
different way
I like it, but here's the tough part is that
Yeah.
it's tough because you could get lost in the minutia there. Over 80 and 80 plus are two different bets, right? So,
How so?
if it lands on 80 and you have over 80, you don't get there, right? So if you have 80 plus
sure?
rush yards, yeah,
80. So if it lands on 80, that's a push.
yeah.
The way
You have over, right? So if you have 80 plus rushing yards, 80 is included. If you have over 80, you got to get 81.
Huh.
You see what I'm saying?
That does make sense. That is kind of minutia.
That's why the books are holding 14% when it comes to NFL player props.
Bingo.
Wow. Absolutely wow. Well, that's why we talk about it here on the show, and that's why we got the best crew in the business. Final takes, 15 seconds, and I mean 15 seconds. AB, start us off.
Two fun games tonight. The Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence going to have to do something, buddy. You're going to have to do something. You're going to have to participate as well. I'm fascinated to see what the Bills do with them today.
Raphael.
We got 2 Monday night games and wrestling. What a Monday night.
Oh, boom. Z-Man.
Yeah, I'm with you, Raphael. I only got 2 TVs, big TV, small TV in the Zaslow Mansion family room, but I feel like I need 3 tonight. I can't neglect Monday Night Raw. This is a very tricky situation.
Don't forget about Last Word, part of BTT. Chuck, bring us home.
NFL dogs and primetime unders. Don't be surprised if they come in.
And there you go. What a great show today, gentlemen. Well freaking done. Absolutely fantastic. We'll be back live tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And the Howie Schwab crew play of the day is what, AB?
Coach, throw it right back to you. Bills minus 5.5. They're failing Buffalo tonight. And Mustard Man.
And there's only one thing left to do after that. You're damn right. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire crew, Lamar, my man from the Dirty Big Chuck, Z-Man, Raphael, AB, producer man, always behind the scenes. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about right here at DTL in the morning and Prime Time Live. We'll see you tonight. Good luck.